Hello, everybody. I've been going for a little while. It's the Prince Miller Show. And I got an excellent guest here. He's actually my friend, my brother, my comrade, Joey Merlino. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
No
Great
question, man. No question. Thank you.
From Beaumont to Elizabeth Street.
That's right. Here we are.
USP Beaumont.
That's right. Long time. And but here we are. First off, I want to thank my subscribers. We almost at I forgot the number, but I know we up there. We getting up there. We climbing. So I want to thank y'all, and I want to thank everybody who's paying attention to the YouTube. It will be more consistent in the future. Also, I want to let y'all know that my book, the hardcover book, will be back out on my website, and the soft cover's out now on Amazon, also on all ebooks, wherever you can get them. It's already out. So without any further ado, my man.
You gotta read the book. I read it. Unbelievable. Yeah. It's the real deal right here.
Yeah.
It's a man that 34
years and 6 months.
34 years and 6 months.
In some very dangerous places.
You heard that right. 34 years and 6 months.
Yeah.
And the worst prisons in the United States. They thought me and him would be dead. Like they said, we'd never be.
That's right.
We're both going to die in jail.
That's right.
But we didn't. We're here.
That's right.
So if you don't like it, fuck you.
Yeah. And to
all
be
the haters. That's
right. And to be honest with you, man, spending time in there and being around and watching how we did that time, and it was something to think about and something to actually learn from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you'd be surprised. You learn a whole lot of things in prison about a person. You get to see how they really are and who they really are. Because it's a lot of things are really uncut, and you get to examine a person, what he's made of and what he's about. Because most rats can't walk those kind of penitentiaries. You might have a few that slip in, but the major ones can't even walk around there. They be in the witness protection program. So
as soon as they come off the bus.
That's right. So
I remember the first day I got there, right? Mm-hmm. Beaumont. Usually, like every time I went to a prison, they put you in a shoe, captain review.
Yeah, always.
Well, then the guy said, the lieutenant, he said, you're good, you're no rat. He said, he's telling the guys on the bus, if you're a rat, do not go out there. Do not go. If you want to go, go. Yeah. I walked out, I had the bedroll. I looked Mexican, I had a beard, all the Mexicans come up to me, talking Spanish. I said, no, I'm Italiano, yeah. Go, boom, go there, go there. It's only 2 or 3 Italians there, not even.
Yeah.
But if something was wrong, you were hot, you weren't even making it to the unit.
That's right. In fact, what Joey, you talking about is whenever they release you from the shoe, because most of the time, if you had a big case or you were somebody who was somebody, you don't go straight to the compound. Right. Sometimes you go to the shoe and then they release you. But if you do make it out right away, either way, it's the same system. It's like a perp walk almost.
Yeah.
Except the perp walk is really of the prisoners in there.
Yeah.
Seeing who's coming out, who ain't right, who told on them, everything.
Yeah.
So you walking around, you walking through the yard. I think you got 1 or 2 police with you, I think.
Yeah, and you got the bedroll.
You got the bedroll, and you walking through. And, you might see faces you might see faces you don't, that you recognize. That's not necessarily that they recognize you. And so and then you got to walk through, and then you get to your housing unit and stuff like that. So that's what you was referring to.
Yeah.
Hell of an experience.
We've seen guys that didn't even make it to the unit.
Oh, yeah. Right away.
They didn't even make it. They were walking to the unit, they got smashed.
Yeah.
One thing I was telling you earlier, I was in USP Beaumont, I never seen a fist fight.
Yeah.
Never a fight.
Yeah. Rare. In fact, I can't remember one fight myself as far as on the yard, fist fight.
Never a fist fight.
Because it was that dangerous that you didn't really have fights.
Yeah, no fights.
It was more stabbings and killings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so they didn't have too many fights.
I remember the kid Ronnie, this guy Ronnie comes in. You remember Fat Ronnie, he was from New York. He was downstairs from me. The first night he comes in, I said, I'll meet you after, when they call chow, 5 o'clock, we're walking the yard. He said, how's this place? I said, I'll be honest with you, anything liable to pop off at any time as we're talking. Next thing they come out, they start shooting out of the tower. Well, all inmates down on the ground. Boom, 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 boom. He's like, what the fuck is going on? I said, just lay down. Well, stay on one knee and don't move. Yeah, that was a crazy place.
But it's funny because even though it was very violent and even though it was the way it was, actually, it was kind of...
A lot of respect, though.
It was a lot of respect. It was livable. It was
a lot of good men there.
Yeah, it was not bad, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into some more of that and more talks about the prison and people that were there and stuff like that. But I got to say, man, not that I like prison because I don't like being in prison.
Right.
I want to get this clear. I'll tell all the children, teenagers, and young adults, you don't want to go to prison. That ain't where you want to be. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But for the men that had to endure that, it was an experience that we learned from. People like us, we don't put our burdens on other people's shoulders for the things that we might have been charged with and convicted of, whether we were right or whether we were innocent or not of the conviction. We take ours and we don't put it on somebody's back. I seen you talking to somebody once. It was a recent interview, and you had said, "Man, listen, the way you was taught a certain way." I think you said about you go to the store, somebody's stealing something, you mind your business, basically.
Don't be a tattletale.
Exactly. Right. I seen that.
Yeah, my mother used to. Yeah. Don't you tell, Yeah. That's just the way we were brought up.
Period. So
today it's
different. And so when I speak about the prison and when we speak about that, we really just saying how it was and that, even though I kind of liked it, Beaumont, in a way.
I liked it.
Regardless to the drama, regardless to the situations in there and stuff like that,
But we're telling the kids, don't follow our paths. Stay in school, become a lawyer, a doctor.
That's right. Or find a skill that you like or a profession that you like and horn in on it. So, and the same with the parents. If you think you see your son like to play basketball, man, we're horning on that skill. We don't want to see nobody repeat
we don't want to go through what we went through. No. Yeah. No, stay. It's and everybody's a rat, believe me.
Yeah.
So they'll lie. They lie just to get out of jail.
Oh man, it's very. This is something that's prevalent. In fact, I wanted to tell you the way it is today. I know you did. How much time you did in Fez?
I did a state total like 22.
22, yeah, all together.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time out your life, man. You got kids, right?
Yeah, 2 daughters.
They grown up now.
Yeah. One's a lawyer, one's in marketing.
Yeah.
When I went away, they were 1 and 2. I came home, they were 15, 13. I went away, they were babies.
And when you came home, how happy was they, man?
It was weird. I used to see them all the time, but it's just I went away. They were this big.
You saw them, but you saw them inside.
Yes. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah. It was hard, girls. You know what I mean? But it was good.
You met my daughter.
Yeah, I met your daughter.
Yeah, I brought my daughter
down in cheesesteak spot.
Your cheese steak spot. Made a mistake and said cheesecake instead of cheesecake. Yeah. I mean cheese steak. I'm still tired tongue.
I do it too.
Yeah, but
when I type, I say cheesecake.
But the food, it was delicious.
Yeah, it was good. Right?
I'm telling you,
Thank you,
they made sure they took me there.
Yeah,
that's one of the spots they wanted me to go and eat.
I appreciate you coming.
What I'm saying? So it was good. It was
family's
a good experience.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
daughter, son,
and my grandkids too.
It was nice.
Yeah, it was a nice experience.
Come anytime you want, my brother.
Yeah, well, I'll be back down.
Yeah, doors are open to you.
Got you, no question, man. Hey, so you did a recent interview with somebody.
Yeah, Patrick Bet-Dave.
Yeah. How'd you meet him?
How I met him, I told you, he lived around the corner from me.
Yeah.
And this might be 7 years ago.
He's a big guy now. He's
tall.
No, I'm saying as far as in the
he's like a Joe Rogan. He's big. Yeah, he's got a big podcast. Yeah, he's smart guy.
Yeah.
And he came by my house one day, and I waited. My neighborhood, everybody waited.
Yeah,
How you doing? He had a big pickup truck, a nice truck, like one of them. I don't know nothing about pickup trucks, but it was a nice one. And he had 3 kids in the back seat.
Yeah.
The windows were down. He waves, "How you doing?" And he said, "Joe." I said, "Who are you?" I didn't know the fuck it was. So I'm your neighbor. I said, "Oh, how you doing?" He said, "I interviewed Sammy the Bull and Ralph Natale." I was like, "Fuck Ralph, fuck Sam." I cursed.
Yeah.
But he was all right. I ran into him at the racetrack at the Florida Derby. And then, I told him, I said, "I'll come on your show."
Yeah.
I like to be, we're the voice.
Ain't no question.
We're the voice for the voiceless, for the people in jail. Yeah. We're trying to get a lot of people out of jail. You don't listen to these idiots on the fucking internet who we trying to get out. We're trying to get a lot of guys out.
Yeah.
Vic Arena, Marty Tessetta.
Yeah.
Your uncle.
Supreme. Yeah.
Supreme.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. My man Booby. You know what I'm saying? We people trying to fight, man. People trying to get people out. People spend a lot of time in jail, man. People change, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you know, you hear some of these podcasts and some of these people saying, oh, man, I don't know why they let him out or him out or that. I'll be saying, damn, what kind of stuff is that? Why you want to see somebody stay in prison? People change, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, and even so much about changing. We was, you know, like me, I might have been selling drugs, whatever I was doing. But the point is, I always was helping people.
Right.
I always paid rents. I always tried to do something to help people.
We did.
And even now, I look at all the things, the giveaways you be having, they be huge, man. I seen one time you gave away it was bikes.
Bike every year.
It was I think it was in front of the cheesesteak spot, right?
Yeah, we gave it 200 bikes.
Yeah.
1,000 turkeys.
Yeah. I said,
But
wow.
you've been doing it too. You did it in projects.
Yeah, ain't no question.
We did it in the 80s. Like they all say, oh yeah, they do it now to go, so everybody, you know.
Like we doing it just for the cloud or something.
Yeah, for the go on Instagram.
We've been doing that when there was no
phones, no Instagram. I think beepers were out. That was it.
That was it.
Yeah, nobody knew that we did it.
And you might have had them big, long phones.
With the case.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But we've been doing it, helping people pay rents, like you said. Yeah. Listen, in jail, I still send guys money.
Yeah, me too.
Every month. I'll never stop. We still
they killing me too.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the way we are. Yeah. We help everybody.
Yeah. That's how it was. Even when we were in prison, sometimes people don't know this too. You see dudes be messed up sometimes, you want to look out for them.
Yeah.
You know how many times I send money to people for myself? They call me, people I know, or my uncle might have me send somebody some money because they got no commissary, some of them guys. So you just do that, man. Because
we always did it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody pressing nobody or asking nobody for nothing.
You see a guy doing bad, help him. How many guys we feed? We used to cook.
Yeah.
Feed the whole unit.
That's
guys
right.
ain't got no money. We used to buy all
That's right.
The stamps.
Right. That's right. It was nothing. It was just something to do. You help people out, man. That's just what you do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Beaumont was the best. I had a microwave. I bought a microwave for $10. So the kid said to me, you want a microwave? I'm like, where the fuck am I going to put a microwave?
A real microwave?
A microwave. Yeah. We worked down facility. He stole it out of the thing.
Yeah.
He said, you want a microwave? I said, yeah. How am I going to get it? He said, I'll deliver it. Give me $10. I said, all right. I gave it to him. Boom. Next day, it's in a unit. Yeah. So I was single cell there.
Yeah.
I had a top bunk.
Yeah, I know.
I had it under the bed. I had it for like a month and a half. Then they shook down and they took it. Yeah. I said, I didn't even know it was under there. Yeah. But Beaumont, you get anything.
You interviewed the dude, Vito, huh?
No, I didn't. He was he was on the guy Bernstein show.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
They deported him. He went back to Italy.
Yeah.
But this Bernstein...
How much time did he do anyway?
I don't think he did a lot of time. He got like 4 years, 3-4 years. Okay. But they had him because he immigration. So I guess he was in a high. But this Bernstein always kept on saying... Oh, Joey's in Beaumont. He got struck down. This and that, you know.
Nah, I was there with you.
We're there.
Yeah, I was there.
Tone,
it never happened.
Me, you.
Yeah, my man Tone, our man Tone.
Yeah, Tone.
You, me. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of us in there.
And the kid Vito, he wound up coming on. And he said, first of all, it had nothing to do with Joey. Yeah. Joey was good to me. He was good to everybody. He helped everybody. Yeah. He bought stamps. We cooked every night. You know, he was a good cook. Yeah. He was from Italy. Yeah. And that was it. He had a beef. He had a problem with a guy. He handled his business, and that was it. Yeah, that was it. You know, the guy trying to make him give him something. Right. He just wasn't trying to give it up to him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And in my book, if a man come to me or anybody and you trying to press somebody out of anything, right? You got every right to handle your business. Yeah. You don't really need nobody to tell you what to do, to be honest with you. You know, and so when a dude handles his business, you know how that prison shit is though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dude handles his business because somebody trying to press him. That's what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't knock that. No. Well, he's just supposed to stand there and be pressed. Yeah. So, you know, in my book, he got every right to do what he's supposed to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, whatnot. You know, that's just something that's a no-brainer. Yeah, he did the right thing. He did what he had to do. That was it. Yeah, you know. But they always, you know, they want to put a twist spin on it, make it sound good. Yeah, you got to make it seem something that it ain't and whatnot. But but there was some. That place was vicious. Yeah. But it was respectful. Respectful. Yeah, it was. And most of the places that you be in that'll be vicious are always respectful. Right. Yeah. You wasn't there when Preacher came, huh? No. Yeah. No, I wasn't there when Preacher came. Yeah. You got another podcaster always bringing up his name like he did something. He never did nothing to me. Right. In fact, you know, he came there, he hid for 2 months, acted like he was a Muslim instead of saying who he really was, you know what I'm saying? Right. And he stayed there for a little while, and then we found out that he was there. He's one of the biggest rats out of New York. New York, yeah. Right. You know, and
instead of how we had, you know how it used to be in Beaumont, no rats can walk the compound. If you discover that that's what you are, then you're gonna be dealt with. Well, he was able to hide for a little while, but then it got discovered who he was.
Right.
Now, normally you don't give them no fear, nothing.
Right.
But people were so fearful that, you know, it just took me alone to actually deal with the dude.
Right.
You feel me? So we got it on, had it on, and, you know, nobody got actually hurt, but we were trying. We respected each other's skill set that we knew if we hit each other, it would be deadly because we was trying to kill each other.
Right.
You know, and so, and the funny thing is he had a bulletproof vest on. He had a book made up.
The books?
Right, the books. Somebody came out and told me a Muslim prince, they in there strapping him up with with books. So he had books on. So I knew while I was doing, you know, having the dance with him, with the knives that he had the books on. And I can't afford a shot to my neck or my body rather.
Right.
But I can only hit him from the neck up.
Right.
And it's hard to hit somebody from the neck up. If you ever been in a knife fight with anybody, you would know that the hardest part to hit is the neck when you're in a knife fight. You may have to take one. So the best part to hit is the body. And so because he covered his body up, and he knew this because he's good, he covered his body up and made it harder for me to be able to hit him. He had an easy shot for me to the body.
Right.
And I had a harder shot. So it wasn't a joke. Because I seen somebody say, nobody got hurt. Yeah, nobody got hurt, but we was trying to kill each other.
Right.
Of course, nobody got hurt, but you know, people was, I hit him on, I hit his book, I hit his vest. He caught my shirt, you know, and it was serious.
Well, you got these idiots on Instagram, I mean, on YouTube, you know,
yeah, you know what I mean?
let it be them in that situation.
Yeah. And that's what I say.
It's easy.
That's what I say. You think it's easy having a knife fight with somebody with a vest on?
Yeah.
It's not easy.
And you're not a big guy. You're like me.
Yeah, he was slower.
Right.
You know what I mean? He had a bad knee. So, you know, it was, we was going so long that police wanted to see somebody get killed.
Yeah.
They let it go for a while. We started from in front of the building, and then we end up going back and forth all the way to the yard. That's how, and you know, the front of the Beaumont building, there's two buildings.
Yeah. And up and down.
Up and down, two buildings, two floors. And front is far away from the actual yard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to be in a knife fight to go from the front of the building to the yard,
That's a long fight.
it's a long fight.
That's a long fight.
You know, he was getting tired too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the police came, and that's when the lieutenant told him, yo, on my 3 or on my something. And that's when the dude had the gun out the tower.
You start shooting?
He ain't shoot yet.
Right.
But when there's enough police was around, he goes down. He's smart. He ain't gonna go down with no police around.
Yeah.
I rush him, then I get him.
Right.
He goes down, and the police is right behind him. They stood there, man.
Yeah.
They wanted to see somebody either get stabbed
They're killed.
or killed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that now?
Yeah.
I'm stabbing him or whatever, but I get shot.
You get shot.
Killed in USB Beaumont.
Yeah.
I don't make it home
Yeah.
to my daughter.
Yeah.
I don't make it home to my parents. I don't make it home to be on this podcast.
Yeah. And
See
they would have shot you in a fucking second.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. And this would have been the story.
That was it.
Prince dies in the penitentiary.
Shot with a knife in your hand. Yeah.
With a knife in my hand. Fighting against a rat bastard.
They run him up top, right? He was gone.
That told as soon as he got in the car.
Yeah.
Now, they ain't run him up top. He ain't come back out.
I mean, come back out, right?
He ain't come back out. We both got in the hole. We went in the hole. They put me in one, you know how you first go in the hole?
Yeah.
I'm in one cage because you got
cages.
and he's in the cage next to me. And he's like, hey man, yo man, I gotta give you some credit, man. You got heart, man. You know your people selling you out. I ain't believe nothing the shit he said. He's a rat. I'm not believing nothing he said. But like, yo, I ain't gonna go back out, man. You know what I'm saying? But yo, man, you shouldn't trust none of them motherfuckers. I ain't even talk to this dude.
Right.
I'm in there pacing mad.
Right.
I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm thinking about everything. I'm actually thinking, dudes like that, we don't even give them no extra chance.
No.
I mean, you supposed to get slaughtered.
Yeah. Plus, I can't believe he got out there. We call him a Muslim name?
Yeah, he came out there, played Muslim, and that's how he got over for a little while.
Oh, well.
They were supposed to deal with it.
Right.
But at the time, the ones who ran it, they should have dealt with that. They said they was, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And since somebody got to deal with it, because he can't walk the same place with me.
No.
I mean,
we ran a tight shit up over there. New York guys.
It was a tight ship.
Tight shit. No bullshit.
Yeah, but at one time, it kind of fell apart only because people started watering down
right.
They started watering down. What's the same thing going on in the street now? Same thing going on in the street now with about who's hot, who's not, who's this, who's that. Even though I know people busy getting money, so they don't really care.
Yep. Guys making
nowadays, they don't even care about who's hot and who's not. You know what I'm saying? They associate with a hot dude so fast, especially if he's a rapper.
What? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he's a rapper, he can be hot all day as a rapper, and it's cool.
Yeah.
But they started watering down. What happened was a dude, homie, came in there from his neighborhood and shit, and I think they copped out, and in the cop out, back in the days, you copped out, you got to be careful, because if you say somebody's name during the cop out, that's telling.
That's telling.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, nowadays it's still the same to me.
To me too, yeah.
Right, but the thing is different. So anyway, they started watering down. So what happened was dudes went and got separated got locked up in the 3 co-defendants got locked up in the precinct. They got separated, went in the things to speak to the detectives, and they all told. So they saying, well, that ain't telling, since they all told on each other. I'm like, what the hell y'all talking about? When I was young, they said, when you go to the precinct, keep your mouth shut.
That's it.
Keep your mouth shut. You don't say nothing. And, you can cop out without mentioning what others did.
Right.
Yeah. They got I forgot the kind of cop out they call that, but you can cop out, what is this? Some type of plea you can take.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Because it happened to Gate and Wags' uncle. When he went, they wanted to say this, that. He refused. He said, no, I'm not doing it. Then they changed the wording. There's a name to it or whatever.
Yeah, it's a name. They got a certain name. You can do that. You don't have to say that this guy did something because you saying you did it. You ain't got to mention everybody else, and whatnot. But that's just the state of affairs here with the way things is now.
It's like I always say, I don't even want to. There's a woman here. I don't want to even. If you go, if you fuck around with a guy, you're a punk. I don't care if it's once. Right. You're one time. So you tell. That's it. You're a rat.
All it take is one time.
One time. That's right. It. You can't change it.
You know the thing about being in prison around people is, when good men you've been in prison with see you and seen that you was in there and you was a man, you handle yourself like a man. Those are things that are irrefutable.
Yep.
You got podcasters that was nowhere near where we was at.
Nowhere near.
Right? And then and they say things based on straight lies, man. That's the only thing I don't like about the YouTube verse, the universe of of YouTube, is that people tell so many lies and people believe it.
They believe it.
Right? Yeah. They believe it. And it's almost like, they want to be lied to, man.
And they love it. They love them. They support them. Listen, they're on there every day. I don't even want to mention their name. They threaten me and Snuff. Especially Snuff. They hate. They threaten him every day. They're going to kill him. They're going to beat him up. They're going to shoot him. They're going to come to the cheesesteak place, beat the workers up. Yeah, they could do it. If me or you get on there and say right now we threaten one of them, we'll be locked up in 3 seconds.
We'll be done. Gone. We'll be locked up. We'll be done. And we probably can't be on YouTube. We threaten somebody.
Yeah. They throw us right off. Yeah. I say they're federally funded. They work for the government.
Because if they don't get nothing happens to them for saying that kind of stuff.
No, nothing.
And that's the only thing that I don't like about. Yeah. But that's what makes me speak up.
Me too.
That's
why we did it. I'm tired of it.
If there's no counter to some of the crap that's said.
You got the same in the bill. He killed 19. He lied, put people in jail, killed a kid. He's on there. He's selling shirts with 19 murders, making money off it. Right?
Word?
Yeah, he's got a shirt with 19. He killed 19 people.
Yeah.
but he's making money on there. You make kids orphans. Send their fathers, their grandfathers, you send the whole families away to jail. You're out there selling. They gave him a chance. He did a year. He sold ecstasy. Now he just did something with girls. And I don't know what he's a fucking stalker. Yeah. Something with girls, molested them as workers.
Yeah.
They
gave that man was on, he had a YouTube channel or a TV show or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable. I was locked up when when he had the TV show. Yeah. I was like, damn, this dude got a TV show. What is the world coming to?
Crazy. They love him.
Yeah.
They love him until it happens to them.
Yeah.
Then they don't,
Yeah. But I've been paying attention, Joey, a lot, looking at the things you've been doing, man. And they don't, that's the stuff that we talk about it, you talk about it. But I don't know why, people don't look at the good stuff we do. They want to hear about the old stuff for real. They want us to talk. Like I'm going to put out a series soon. My series will be coming out soon. And once I get the right deal.
Yeah, you're going to have.
And then they can see what they want to see. But I'll be trying to stay positive, really. You know what I'm saying?
You put a series out.
Yeah.
I know your story.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent years with you.
Yeah.
It'd be one of the best shows out there.
What do you think about about people who be putting stuff out on us and that don't be from us, sort of like it be their own version of it?
Like they have these guys, like say, like a boxing expert. The guy's never gonna fight in his life. How the fuck are you a boxing expert? If you ever, like they get on it, they just hate.
Yeah.
Our haters are starting to like us, though.
Yeah.
Even the haters are starting to like us.
Ain't no question.
Believe me.
Yeah.
They watch everything we do.
Somebody asked me once, they said, man, I knew Joe, because they seen me and you on the YouTube, and I came out there to film
the cheesesteak
on the Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
And they said, man, yo, it's they got a something on him by documentary or something.
Yeah, on Netflix.
Is that his? I said, nah, I don't think that's
it wasn't.
Because he ain't had nothing to do with that.
No, they wanted me to go on. They wanted to pay. I said, I ain't going on there. There's little rats on there. I ain't going on that fucking show.
Yeah, I told him, nah, it ain't his.
But like they say, they tell half truths.
Yeah.
They never say you got to quit it. Everything. Oh, he did this. He did that. He did this.
No, they never tell you.
They never say you got to quit it. No, never. They hate to say that.
Yeah, they'll speak about things he was never charged with.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. They'll speak about all kind of stuff. They make money off of it too. They're making money off. One time I had a party, and on the party I took the videos and everything, and we supposed to do a documentary on it. And what happened was, before I can put the documentary out, somebody else took the joint and just
put it out.
Put the whole. I said, "Damn, how did that happen?"
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
It was amazing. It was surprising to me. You know what I'm saying?
You got to explain to the people. I know the story. Who's the guy who lied, lied, you just didn't even know.
Yeah.
And got you in a RICO.
Yeah. That happened to my uncle.
Uncle, right?
Right. Preem, the main witness. Preem never knew the dude. Never once spoke to the dude. Didn't know him. The dude knew another person that Preem dealt with.
Right.
And because of that, the detective knew that he can manipulate this guy because he had caught a case, and he had court cases before, and he wanted to get around the case. So he was willing to say anything that the detective said. So he came up with the story. They came up with the story and made it sound so believable to a jury. You'd think that Preem knew the dude, but Preem never knew him.
Crazy.
And it's easy to say, like me.
Right.
I went to trial. I knew all the rats in the case, actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But but they wasn't all saying the truth.
Right.
There was some half truths, some truths.
Right.
But in Preem's case, he didn't know the dude.
Unbelievable.
And the dude testified, and it was amazing because based on that, that's how they connect the RICO.
Right.
They had nobody to make it a RICO case. It would have just been a homicide case in the state.
Right. But
they had to find somebody to say that the drug is just drugs, is this, that, and they connected it by his testimony. And because Preem had a lawyer who wasn't trying to win the case, he just wanted to beat the death penalty.
Right.
So he didn't test the veracity of the truth of the witness.
Right.
And so what happened was Preem gets convicted. He should have beat that trial. If he'd had a good lawyer at the time, he would have beat that trial.
Shame.
And I'm not going to say you got death penalty lawyers whose job is not to win a trial, but just to
save your life. Yeah.
save your life.
Right.
And that's what he was concerned about, saving Preem's life. So he beat the death penalty, but blew the trial.
Right.
But that doesn't, it's no good now.
Yeah, it's no good.
Because when you in jail for life, it's like being dead.
Dead. Yeah.
You know, you actually, except to your family, you really gone. Even to some of them, for real.
Yeah, they forget you too.
Yeah, you know. But
we got to work on to get them out.
Ain't no question. Fighting hard to make that happen and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. God bless you.
You know, yeah.
That's what we got to do. We got to help.
Yeah.
Listen, like I said, you watch the podcast. You got somebody in jail, you know, long as they ain't a rat or a pedophile, we'll help you. We'll try our best to get them out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but what else you been doing, man?
None. I'm in New York now, you know. Nice, cold today.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were in Georgia, right?
Yeah, I'm in Georgia. Yeah.
I'm in Florida. The weather's beautiful.
Yeah, I love
cold
it
up here. Yeah,
I'll be going to the mall.
Yeah, they got the mall. What's that? Lexus?
Lennox Mall.
Lennox Mall.
You got Perimeter Mall.
Yeah, Lennox Mall. I went there.
We got Perimeter Mall. They're gonna have Queens Day out there again. It's gonna be big this time. I ain't go last year. I'm gonna go this year though.
I gotta come out there and see you.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right. I'm gonna come out there and do one with you though.
Yeah, come to Philly.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Well, as soon as the weather gets warm.
Yeah. What be going on out there in the summertime? Y'all be throwing anything out there?
This summer's going to be a madhouse.
Oh yeah.
We got the World Cup.
Yeah.
The soccer from all over the world.
Okay.
So it's in Philly. It's in Jersey, where the Giants play. I think L.A., Miami, but Philly's going to be packed.
Yeah.
And then you got the All-Star game with the baseball. The All-Star games in Philly, the Home Run Derby.
Yeah.
And it's 250 years. America. It's Philly. It's where it's going to be packed.
I know you did, but you ever went up to the thing with the dude? What's his name?
The Liberty Bell.
The boxing.
Oh, Rocky.
Rocky.
Yeah. The art museum, the steps. Yeah.
I heard you opening some more stores, man.
We're going to open we're opening one in Chichester, PA. It's like 30 minutes from where we are. And we're going to open, working on one in Wildwood, New Jersey, just like the summer.
Wow. It's cool.
Yeah. Then I want to franchise them all over the country.
Same setup?
Same thing.
Oh,
Skinny
man.
Joey's cheesesteaks.
Yeah,
we got to get you a franchise out here and one in Atlanta.
Yeah, I want to put
them all over.
Definitely, man.
Sell them for $1 billion and retire.
You can count me in.
You're in. You're in, my brother.
It. New York, I got a place.
I told Tone, too, put one in D.C.
Yeah. Tone probably jump right on that. Yeah.
Matter of fact, he probably invited you. I think it's June 7th. He's having amateur fights or something.
Yeah, he told me.
Yeah.
You having amateur fights June 7th.
I'm going to go up the 6th, stay over. Why don't we go up and do a podcast over there?
Bet. I'll be up there, too.
We'll go right in D.C. in the hood.
Tone said he was going to start a podcast, but he's so busy getting his store together now.
Yeah, he got a nice store.
Yeah, I was actually out there not too long ago, and I called him. But he was not there at the time. He was in Baltimore and whatnot. So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What month is he said? April?
No, he said June. I think the amateur fights June 7th.
June 7th.
I'm going to go up to 6.
Okay, cool.
We're trying to get. I got a guy building us a truck where it's supposed to be done. I'm going to take the cheesesteak truck up there.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a permit for the day and give all cheesesteaks out for everybody. Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I put that on the calendar.
Yeah, put that on the calendar.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Me, Wags will take Snuff up.
Yeah,
Snuff, maybe me on a box.
Yeah.
Can't punch you in the head with all that gel you got in your fucking hair.
Yeah.
You break your hand.
I like that idea, man. That's cool.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. Hey, Joey, when did I first meet you, man? I was there before you, right?
You were in Beaumont, yeah. Let me see. I got sentenced. I got 99.
What day you came?
I came 2001.
Yeah, 2000.
99, I got pinned. I got convicted. 2001, I came to Beaumont in December. I think it was right around there.
Yeah.
And then you were already there.
I was there since 99. I came.
You were there. When I came in, you hooked me up, gave me sneakers, everything I needed, stamps, clothes. Thank you for that,
man. And, knowing you, man, been a beautiful thing, man. And look, here we are.
Here we are.
Yo, it's epic, man.
I was supposed to go. I got designated to USP Pollock.
Yeah, that was a nice spot at the time.
And then when I was in Oklahoma. I was in the shoe.
Yeah.
The guy came to me. He said, "Roll up." He said, you're leaving. I said, where am I going? Pollock? He said, no, you're going to Beaumont. I'm like, what the fuck's Beaumont? I know. I said, where the fuck's Beaumont at? He said, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's like, man, you don't want to go there. They kill a motherfucker every day in there. Mm-hmm. Bloody Beaumont, he called it.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And that's where I wound up, and I was there.
In fact, I had a co-defendant there that got killed too. But people thought I was there when it happened. I wasn't even there.
Yeah, I wasn't there neither. I remember you left, I left.
Yeah, I left, right? And what happened was, when that happened, I was in a county jail.
Yeah, you got indicted again, didn't you?
I got indicted for a dude had a cellie, and the cellie, he do his thing. I don't get involved with what people do. I just tell them, man, take your weight. You know,
Right.
I mean, I don't care what you do, but you take your weight. At the time, I had a cellie, and he got caught up in something, and he got locked up. And when they got locked up, him, a couple of other dudes, everybody point the finger at me because the place wanted me. They, and these places be looking at dudes with names and big cases, and they want to make them into things that they not. So they gave me a case. I beat the case though.
Get out of jail card free.
I beat the case. They was trying to shave time off their sentences.
Right.
So they all said,
blame you.
I did this for him. But in reality, it didn't work. So I ended up beating the case. But while I was there, my co-defendant got killed. You know what I'm saying? And I told him when I left, when we was in the hole, when you get back out, if you go back out there, they give you the opportunity to go back out there, you got to be careful. Because what he did was, when we got locked up, they locked us up on the Murder, Inc. investigation. When they investigated Murder, Inc. at the time, they was investigating us in prison, and they locked us up the same time they locked them up. Speaking of that,
right?
How do you feel about rappers using, the Italian names and stuff like that, and our names and stuff like that? And
well, me and you were in a few songs. You're in like 8, 9 songs. I'm in a couple songs. OT Rail, the Ram Squad back in the day.
Yeah.
But what sounds good? Irv Gotti, right? Sounds good. Irv Gotti. It sells.
It does.
Or Irv Feldman. Who the fuck would buy that?
That's right.
No, really. If his name was Irv Feldman, who the fuck's gonna fucking go with Irv Feldman?
No, that makes my question stupid.
Yeah.
So
it sells.
That's right. It sells. And if it sells, it sells.
That's it. I was on a visit one day, and you were there. I think Ashanti came to see you.
No, it wasn't Ashanti. It wasn't Ashanti.
Was it?
That was actually Preem came to see me.
Preem?
Yeah, it was Preem, and he brought some female with him, but it wasn't her. She looked like Ashanti.
I thought it was
right,
her.
but it was Preem. Preem came up to see me twice.
All right.
Right, before he got locked up.
He got locked up, yeah.
And he let me know that he think that he was under investigation. And what happened was, when they locked up Preem and Irv and Chris Gotti and them, they locked me and my co-defendant up. When they locked me and C up, I'll never forget it. They had us handcuffed, put us in the hole in the cell. It's a holding cell in the lieutenant's office. They put us in the holding cell. And C's a big guy.
Yeah, C
you know what I'm
was
saying?
big.
And what happened was, C is pissed. And the SIA at the time, the SIA, you got the SIS, who's the investigative arm of the prison, and the SIA, who's the one who consult with the prosecutors.
Right.
He's the link between the streets and the prison.
Right.
And he came to the door and came inside. He had the police open the door. We sitting in there handcuffed. C want to get out. He's telling him, he's kicking the door to get handcuffs off, because we ain't supposed to be sitting in there handcuffed like that.
Right.
We already locked behind the door. So he's kicking the door to come. The SIA come in there with 2 COs, and he's saying, yeah, your uncle's going down. I know he came to see you twice. He's taking you down. He just got locked up. The Gotti brothers, this and that. Hey man, what's up, man? You want to take us to the hole, man?
Right.
You can take us to the hole. So, and then he goes to C, and he's you too, and this and that, and he's talking to C. C's a little different than me. C's spitting the man's face. So he's spitting his face. I see it. I'm like, oh man, what the fuck he do that for?
Yeah.
Guy runs the fucking jail. He runs the prosecutions, everything. And so what happened was, when they left us handcuffed still for a couple more hours. I said, yo, C, you should have never did that, man. I said, that he will never forget what you did, man. Believe me, man. You know what I'm saying? He will never forget that. And I always told him, be careful. So what happened, when we was all locked up, and because our side was in the hole, both sides was in the hole at the time, but they let one side out that we was beefing with, and they gave me a case, didn't let none of my guys out. The only one they let out was C.
Yeah, they get killed.
They set him up, but they didn't know he was going to get killed.
Right,
they just felt something would happen.
Something going to happen to him, right?
Because this killing was actually an accident.
Right.
You want to know the truth. They wasn't trying to really kill him. You know what I'm saying? It's just that sometimes people push knives, they don't realize what they do. Some people do,
Right.
And some people don't. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know, he goes out there, and altercation happens. You know, two guys, and he gets killed allegedly.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying? So the point is, though, if I was him, I would have went out there and I'd have went out there swinging.
Right.
I wouldn't have lasted a day.
Right. Right.
It ain't no trying to get no visits, which is what he was trying to do. I'm not trying to get no visit. I ain't trying to use no phone. I may use the phone to say one thing. Hey, I'm hollering at you now. I'll holler at you later, man.
Right.
Boom. I'm going to hit the first person that I'm warring with or beefing with.
The best defense is a good offense.
It's simple as that. And that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But I wish I was in the jail at the time and they would have let me out with him.
Yeah. Shame.
You know, either way, I'm going to go with him.
Yeah.
Or we're going to take somebody with us. But I was not even in the jail when that happened.
Yeah.
You got people don't even know that.
Yeah, they don't even know.
You wasn't even in the jail when that happened.
I was fighting trial. I got indicted again for the murder. I was in Jersey, Hudson County
in
Jail.
the prison, I mean. We wasn't.
Yeah, no.
Neither one of us was in USB Beaumont.
I
at
got
the
chipped
time.
and you got chipped.
Exactly.
You got indicted, I got indicted.
Before that happened.
Yeah, before it happened.
Yeah, so that's why people don't be knowing what they be
don't know
talking about.
stories. Yeah.
You know, and so, but
I got to say one thing. You're one of the. I used to watch you in the yard. You're one of the best chess players I've ever seen in a long time.
I love that game.
You can play chess.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, that is.
Anybody wants to play him, bet. I bet on him.
That's right.
No, he can play. He can play chess.
Joey, I'm beating dudes 20 straight games before they can win a game.
I watched it. He can play.
You know, I love that game so much because when I played it, it made me feel like I was free.
Yeah.
When I was playing chess, it was like I wasn't even in prison.
How about that?
I've been playing chess since I was 8 years old.
That's a hard game.
Yeah, I love the game. I love the process of it, the thought pattern, the fact that you got to think so many moves ahead to win. Yeah. Like life.
That's
you know
life.
what I'm saying? And then people play the pieces, but it's the board, it's the position.
Yeah.
See, people don't know about position. Positioning is everything in life too.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ain't the people, it's the position.
I remember when I was in Beaumont, we used to watch BET. Mm-hmm. You know, you had the TV with the thing, and I used to watch listen to it, watch it. And he was in, how'd you feel when your name was in one of them songs?
Man, it didn't bother me, man. In fact, I felt like, listen, man, you had people like Nas and you had other people, and people be keeping your name alive, man. That's how I felt. Like you know, I'm in prison. I'm dead for all intents and purposes. Yeah. So to hear your name in rap songs and stuff, it was a good thing.
They're still thinking of you.
Exactly. And then knowing from the very beginning, I was out there when all that was just starting from the block parties to the house parties.
Right.
You know, because remember, I went to jail March 21st, 1990.
Oh.
So I missed a whole lot.
When I first met you, you told me I'm going to die in here.
Yeah.
I think you said I'm going to die. But you had 7 life sentences?
I had 7 life sentences. And I got with a 1 on appeal.
Right.
And then that left me with 6.
Right.
And then I, of course, gave the 6 back.
Beautiful.
And but yeah, man, I don't be worrying about that because most of them, man, they be just showing respect and homage. And man, I tip my hat to them. And I'm glad that they were able to not be where I was at because of music.
Right.
But it all started from them block parties and them house parties. Yeah. You know, and so, man, it don't bother me at all, man.
Well, that's what I tell guys, like, you know, they want to commit crime and this and that. I said, it's not like the movie. You know, a guy gets on a show, TV show, guy gets 20 years. After 2 commercials, he's home. You know, fucking 2 commercials. You're doing 20 fucking years. That's right. You know what I mean? Yeah, the show, after 2 commercials, guy's home. Yeah. It
ain't like that.
That's why I say, go to school, go get a fucking job. Yeah. Everybody's a rat, believe me.
Yeah. And it ain't what people think. That prison life, we ain't trying to glamorize it or make it seem like it's a thing to do. You might hear me sometimes say, I like this joint or whatever. Yeah. Trust me, I hate all prisons, all jails, all of that.
That's why I hate Bob Barker. Remember the shoes? Bob Barker, that motherfucker. He came out with prison clothes. He made $900 million. He's making prison clothes.
Yeah, and that's so you see Bob Barker soap, everything.
Yeah, Bob Barker soap, the slippers, the sneakers, the skippies.
Yeah, and the only thing I meant when I be saying that is that is better than other prisons compared to where I was at, basically. Right.
But I rather, like you said, because I was in a low, my last bet for making the bet, I was in Coleman Low. Yeah. There was 1,500 child molesters, 1,900 people, 1,500 child molesters, 300 rats. maybe 100 guys were good.
Yeah.
At least in Beaumont, but we knew everybody was good. You know, one going to sneak here and there, but it's going to catch up to them, like you know, preacher and all.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be here and get more respect. Be around men.
That's right. And I don't care how violent the jail is.
Yeah.
The violence in jail never bothered me for real. That comes with the territory.
Right.
In fact, to me, the respect level is even more where you got to walk a certain way.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem, you know.
Yeah.
It never was a problem for me like that. But that being said, man, I'm glad we home.
I'm glad we're home.
Yeah, and that's,
we could talk about it.
That's right.
Try to help people and
yeah, that's right.
Be successful businessmen.
That's right. That's a fact.
And that's it.
Yep.
And this is the first of many times we'll be together.
That's right. That's a fact. Everybody, make sure you like, share, subscribe, both of us, as a matter of fact. And y'all have a good time. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me, brother. Great seeing you.
No question.
Love you.
All right, Joe. Yeah.